Hello, this is Marin from Spacelift, and today we're going to go through the Getting Started guide and the Launchpad of Spacelift. We are also going to briefly talk about some of the main concepts so that you familiarize yourself before jumping right into the platform. And starting with stacks being the core entity of Spacelift. A stack serves to orchestrate your infrastructure code and to provide CI/CD capabilities. Each stack will then have its own state file. The state management itself is provided out of the box by Spacelift for you. And each stack has a completely separate state file, meaning that separation of concern is already out of the box for you. We then have worker pools. These are the clusters, so to say, of worker entities. These will hold the worker entities that will fulfill your runs, that will execute your runs. And the worker entities themselves can be public or private. The public ones are provided by Spacelift, while the private ones are created by yourself. We then have policies, and Spacelift's policy engine is based on the Opera framework. We use Rego to create policies with code, and then those policies are attached to your stacks. Cloud integrations serve for authentication natively against your cloud providers, and the VCS change workflow is, well, Spacelift's way of doing things with version control system. It is largely based on the GitOps approach of doing things, although it doesn't necessarily need to be through a PR or merge request exactly as a workflow. Now let's jump into the Launchpad. And here we are. When you create your account, you would have to go through these steps. Now I already have them created, but nevertheless, we'll go through the different tabs. So we start with integrating our source code. This is the first thing that we need to do. It's an absolute necessity. This is to facilitate your infrastructure code through Spacelift. So by clicking over here, we will be directed immediately to the source code tab, and we can click on setup integration and choose our preferred integration type. So if I go with GitHub, I can set it up manually, or I can set it up through the wizard, which will direct me to GitHub itself. But let's go back into the Launchpad, and our next step would be to integrate our cloud provider. So jumping then into integrations, we have all of these third-party integrations, starting with the major cloud providers, of course. And if we go to the AWS, we can already see that we have two integrations created, but it is easily set up through here. There are instructions as well as even a code block and everything you need to do in AWS. And then the third step will be to create our first stack. So we can also go through that quickly. Click create stack, give it a name, choose the important things, and then we have our stack created. There's another video that goes a bit more into the details of stack settings and creation. So let's go back to the Launchpad, and then we can invite our teammates. Now you can do that manually, clicking on invite user, and therefore inviting your teammates through your emails. Or when you use your IDP and your SSO, you might have IDP group mappings, and they would automatically pick up your teams. This is Marin from Spacelift, and tune in for more videos.